During the age of mass media, reputation was a construct. Fame and infamy could be engineered at the whim of anyone with the cash and influence. It was also fleeting. Someone's name could be on the lips of millions one day, and they could fade into obscurity the next. In the wasted world, reputation must be earned. It also spread slowly, almost entirely by word of mouth. There are few who could be fairly called famous, and only a handful of living legends. Fame is often born of good stories featuring a lead character with some distinctive feature that is intriguing enough to lodge itself in the memory, such as being a feared hand-to-hand combatant with a beautiful multicolored braid of hair.
Welcome back. We have a big chunk, I think, a double handful of our core cast. We're going to begin with D, Erik, Goldwater, and Torg. The four of you, and we're actually not going to do descriptions today. If you're first time joining us, go back to one of the previous episodes. We describe ourselves a lot. Refer back, please. So these four people are currently on an expedition picking through the remnants of a place called the Fashion Silo. So the Fashion Silo was a fast fashion, more or less, like it was the kind of place that was forever selling markdowns. When you looked at it, the markdowns were printed on the tags. So they were engineered to be markdowns from the jump. And they're in the company of a new person. This person is Lambda. Lambda is described as follows. Kdin, take it away, please.
So Lambda is a mutant scavenger who is relatively short, but wearing a collection of sewn together bits of bright colored fabric to stand out against the very dark and depressing wasteland. It is hodgepodged from a not insignificant amount of clothing found across the wasteland and picked specifically for the bright and colorful pieces that remain from them. They are specifically out to get the best and brightest pieces of clothing still available.
So as you watch, Lambda has a couple of things and has a very skilled hand and a very keen eye. It has a tape measure, so it's doing the thing, coming up to certain things and measuring. Also probably has a couple of rings of color swatches, gotten from scavenge from paint shops, also from clothing stores, like any number of places, but has scavenged things that other scavengers had no real interest in. But were very, very important to Lambda. Lambda also has a couple of really big, the bags that are plasticized cloth, so the kinds that you would get at like high-end department stores a century ago. So instead of being covered in, so looking like a Rob Liefeld character covered in like pouches, super durable, hip bags and things, I imagine Lambda as having like just a fistful of these bags in both hands. Is not at all what you'd expect a scavenger to look like, and not at all what you would have guessed a scavenger would behave. Like the priorities entirely different. The four of you know Lambda from the Ninth Life. Lambda has ... history ... with Dixon. So they're now friends. There's no there's no drama there, except kind of occasionally playfully, but it's not a current thing. And you met this person who gradually got to know you over drinks because you're staying there. And one of the things they told you was, I have trouble getting other scavengers to work with me because all they want is high-end electronic boards they can sell, or weapons, or things to make explosives with. And you have agreed to go and help them, and you have learned what they're looking for is stuff to make art or to make fashions with. So you're working your way through the fashion silo, and depending on the character, because there's 4 very distinctive reactions, like what would Erik make of the fashion silo?
I mean, he'd be really into it, man. Like,
See, like trying on
he's always
jackets
checking
and stuff.
for new gear, right? So checking for some bright. I suspect that he and Lambda are probably fighting over some fabric, but not in a fighting kind of way, in a sort of admiring each other's tastes in fabric kind of way.
So I'm definitely picturing a couple of setup shots with Erik's triumphant goblin glory in front of one of those 5-way mirrors, all kind of like post-apocalyptic, like mostly broken, but still enough to catch every angle, and doing like a short montage of Erik's fashion finds.
Yeah. While "Ça plane pour moi" by Plastic Bertrand plays in the background.
Very good. Namaste. Goldwater, I take it your reaction to this place is not the same.
No, it's just mostly, seeing it as a failure of business that someone hasn't already taken advantage of these clothes and moved them to another location to resell them. It just seems like a big waste. But also there may be some nice shoes in here or boots, so I'm picking through.
So I think, your montage would be a lot of like picking up one of a pair and going like, because the stuff that would be in here would be unsuitable to your general professional vibe.
That's correct.
Like something with the equivalent of a Digimon on the side, or something that's meant to be super fashionable that's got like a ridiculous feel on it.
Yeah, no.
Like nothing that would work with your thing at all.
Gotta be practical. You never know though. It's worth looking.
What about pumps though?
Oh, you mean like pump them up or
Is it pump it?
Yeah. Like pump up sneakers.
Sneakers
That's practical and delicious at the same time.
They're not appropriate for the IRS, unfortunately.
So D, how does D react to a house of fast fashion?
I'm so excited. I think I would be really taken with any kind of like magical looking fabrics that are like sheer, any kind of like shimmery kind of magic. I'm into that. So I would just be out there looking at all that. I'd be trying to guess the names of more complicated colors as well. So I'd be like, Lambda, if I could look through the color sheets, because I like to paint. And so I'd be looking through and being like, oh, chartreuse. Dang it. That was luster red. Dang it.
And Torg?
Yeah, Torg is very excited. This is 100% up towards alley. As some people might remember who have been watching the stream since the beginning, Torg has a penchant for 80s leather members only and like other such style jackets. So anytime Torg can find something, they are very excited. Torg also has many trophies on their person from their various kills, and is also occasionally looking for stuff that will liven up the different appendages and tokens from their kills.
There fortunately is some stuff that's along those lines. Although a lot of it, of course, is very small. So there'd be...
Right. Well, that's why Torg could use the small items to attach to. That's what I took to decorate the
so not
emblems.
Even wearing it as a proper thing, intentionally getting smaller. And no, totally.
And dressing up the different memorials.
So pauldrons that are just extra small matador jackets.
Yeah, they'd be like baby clothes would be like doll clothes to Torg.
Right.
So
This is like my experience shopping in most men's stores. I get to play Torg. But I feel for Torg.
Yes. And they might find some little, accoutrement for their braid. little like charms that they can put onto the scarf that they got from B.
You've learned that your new friend Lambda has the mutant power of luminosity, so it can actually control color, project light. So very X-Men-y, can do little bursts of colored light or just gradually create light in the room, illuminate it.
Party time!
So how well illuminated is the main room of the silo?
Extremely illuminated. I mean, everybody gets to see everything, right? I mean, yeah, how can you go shopping in the dark? You don't want anybody to come out like looking like they fell into a closet, right?
And you probably wouldn't color the light because you want to be able to tell what the colors really look like, right?
Just a nice, bright, flashing, beaming white light that everybody can see everything that they need to see. It's perfect.
Are you able to stop yourself from doing a little bit, not quite disco, but you could absolutely.
Oh, the ambiance of it all? Of course.
Oh, okay. All right. So there's some.
You want to go to a rave? We could do a rave. You want to do a disco? We'll do a disco. It's all good.
So your new companions here seem far more intrigued by what you're doing than your average scavengers do. The last team you traveled with, they were a dour bunch who absolutely refused to wear anything that didn't blend in well. So it was all done, colored, and lifeless. They even had gas masks. They looked awful and had zero respect for what you're doing. On the other hand, these people are I mean, are you literally dancing? Has anyone turned music on?
Oh, I think Torg, for one, if the disco flashing light effect is happening, then Torg is dancing, and either Torg is making the music, or they're all making some sort of music, or they found an old like tape player. Like, yes, 100%. While digging through, they are grooving and dancing.
We know that Erik carries a music her, and we can absolutely say that there are speakers, because there would be, and you can plug in. So you can literally take your music, put a little cable.
And we know that he has access to both Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Spice Girls. So.
Oh, shopping montage is what's happening. This is what's happening. It's all shopping montage, and we're all going to have a blast.
It's a full-on 80s shopping montage, right?
Well, then shouldn't the Spice Girls not have existed yet?
The feel, though, is right, because they don't. But I think the vibe is right? Some people like the Breakfast Club dancing in the library scene. Kind of like that, but like trying on clothes and dancing to music. The one thing that I don't hear on any of this, delightful as it is a real responsible keeping watch plan. I'm going to need a willpower save for Agent Goldwater, please.
Great start.
Save versus funky.
Don't save.
Come on, I want to see Goldwater get down. Let's go.
The bomb is a 1, right?
No, all you have to worry about is rolling at least 1 6.
I know, but I'm trying to remember which is which. Is it the nuclear?
The bomb is a 1 because it looks like a 1, and then the 6, it's actually got 6 sizes.
Yep.
That's the way to remember.
Cool, thanks. I just wanted to double check. I got a partial success.
Okay, so partial means the absolutely charming, whoever be the tough guy character, where you catch him like being grim but bopping, and like you get the shot where his ass would be going back and forth, right? Like it's been at least a dozen 80s movies where the Judd Nelson of the group would be like. So that means, in my mind, the only person on watch is Goldwater, and he's not doing it real well. So I'm going to need a notice check from Goldwater down a die because of the funk.
The funk, the affliction, the funk.
The funk monster.
Kdin, I think I wrote for that.
I got one success.
One success. All right, so you realize that so you have enough detachment that you realize that your team has let go in a way that they've not let go in a while, especially since you effectively lost your home. And Erik looks happy, right? And you travel with him for a period where he was carrying serious weight and you were literally afraid for him. So on one hand, seeing them doing this is great. On the other hand, no one is paying any attention to their surroundings. And when that realization hits, you realize that there are, so you know how little kids, like usually ages 4 to 7, like when they don't have to ride in the stroller anymore, they end up with this unholy fixation on hiding in spinner racks. And they kind of traverse stores like this by going from spinner rack to spinner rack.
Mm-hmm.
And to a kid, under a table is like Hogwarts. And a spinner rack is clearly like an entire carnival or something.
Yeah.
You realize that you're seeing movement in more than one of the spinner racks. It's subtle. So, like, if you had not made the roll, it would have just gone unnoticed. But there's something hiding in those spinner racks.
I'll kind of slowly start moving towards one. I'm not going to alert anybody else, though. They're having too much fun.
Okay. So, Kdin, what do you think? Describe something Lambda has found that is in fact fabulous and is going to be redesigned into something amazing.
Let's see. Do you remember those 80s jackets, the late 70s, early 80s jackets that were like shimmering silver plasticine? Yeah, found one of those, not completely together.
Me. Yes, I've seen those. Yeah.
Yeah, not completely together. It's a little ripped and torn, and it is, the plasticky material, but at least one sleeve is intact, and that's kind of more than enough.
So you pick it up at arm's length, and we get the camera go round. Okay. I need let's do this as an awareness roll from Goldwater.
All right, awareness.
It's
5 dice this time. All right. Success.
And follow that with an insight check.
All right. 2, 3 partial successes. I don't think that makes a difference.
So there, you don't feel your spider sense is not tingling, right?
Gotcha.
You're combat trained enough. Like, the purpose of awareness is to provide you a chance to react when you might be attacked. Even though you're approaching something that could literally be, this is Nuked, right? So like death could be in there and be like, some fucked up thing Mike made up. Oh no! You don't get that reaction. In fact, the little bit of movement, it feels like something shaking, possibly in fear.
All right, I'm gonna go down on one knee and kind of like tilt my head under to see if I can see what's going on under the clothes and whatever's on the rack.
So did you see the terrible He-Man movie?
Yes.
Remember that little dude that they made that was supposed to be their cool alien friend they'd make toys out of, but it was fucking terrible?
Yeah.
And it looked like a Garbage Pail Kid?
Yeah, it was like if Orko got thrown in a bunch of nuclear waste.
Right, like from RoboCop, like we got splashed with that shit, right?
Yes.
So picture a baby one of those that has gone nuts backstage at like a big flashy musical or like the Tonys. Mm-hmm. So like it's literally covered in sparkle fabrics and like remnants, but has sort of a little piggy nose and the little eyes are wide staring out. and you hear kind of labored breathing.
Hello. Would you like to come out from there and say hello to me?
It was so bright. So bright.
We have some friends here. If you could bring the lights down just a little bit.
And so you can all kind of see that there is something inside the clothes in the spinner rack. And looking around, now that you get that in your head, there's other eyes peering at you from other spinner racks. So out comes this creature, and I'm sorry, I know part of my brain is just dropping constant movie references, but they're all movies I respect, man. So Labyrinth, you know the wonderful junk mother that had her entire bedroom on her back. So this is like that little piggy mutant dude, but he's got that same like everything that is his is on him. So he's kind of hunchback looking, but isn't a hunchback. The physicality in Fallout, now I'm going to make a video game reference, the miners, like the mole miners, have a very solid, broad physicality to them. So like that, but cute and fabulous.
Hello. Nice to meet you. I hope the light is more to your enjoyment.
It's beautiful. The colors are so bright.
So
I never imagined.
It's quite something.
A couple of the other ones start to come out, and they've all got different preferences and the things they've taken.
Okay, well,
and clearly the production staff has done this all with practical effects without enough budget. So they all have that bad 80s prosthetic look to them. Not at all CG, right? So it's all like early mask work where you just glue the one thing to the lip and that's all you get for animation.
It's like off-brand Muppets.
Yeah, exactly. And that was my band, off-brand. Hey, so they kind of gravitate. They gravitate towards Goldwater.
And what's your society called?
Our what?
What's your group name? Do you have one?
Group name.
Yes.
They turn and they literally huddle.
Maybe this wasn't a good question.
Looks like you made some friends.
Seems I did.
So Lambda, do you keep the lights low? Are they still colorless, or do you play around with it at all?
I'm going to play around with the colors a little bit, but I'm going to dim them a bit. So it's just going to be like various, like different colors, but I'm going to dim them a bit.
So one of them actually sees it out of the corner of their eye and like breaks the huddle and just wanders around staring, fixated by the lights.
Now, do we see them? As have we seen them yet, or is it just?
Oh
Goldwater?
yeah, they've come out from the racks.
Oh.
Yeah. They break their huddle, and one of them puffs up their chest and says, "Our group name is Rainbow Dawn."
Apropos name.
I am Bert Sienna.
Pleasure to meet you, Bert.
This is Tropical Rain and Monday Ash.
Hello, Tropical. Hello, Monday.
You have helped yourself to our home.
Yes. Is that okay?
Welcome, I guess.
Apologies, we thought this place was abandoned, and it does have some useful supplies.
It has very many useful supplies. It is the most wonderful place in all the wasted land.
Sure, it is.
Before we came here, we all looked he realizes what he's going to say, and he
Like
doesn't
me?
say like you. And he actually picks up. Oh, I'm sorry. We can help though. We can help. Let's dress him up.
No, please. I am wearing a uniform. I must wear this.
Oh, okay. We just
At this point, so can we hear this conversation that
yeah,
Goldwater's
it's
having?
right in front of you, yeah.
Okay, so at this point, like, Torg bounds up and says, Goldie, make over, please, make over, please, make over, Goldie, make over. Oh, Goldie, come on.
I run to Torg's aid and begin chanting because I hear Torg chanting. Make over Goldie! Make over Goldie!
I walk over to Goldwater and put my hand on his shoulder, and I'm like, man, I met Jesus a little while ago.
No.
And he would really, really want you to take advantage of the goodness that is happening here.
Can I adjust the luminous and make it so it's basically only a spotlight on Goldwater?
You absolutely can.
Yeah.
Anyone else here can volunteer for this.
No, sir. No, sir. You deserve this more than anyone.
It needs to be you. It needs to be you. You've been
Torg,
chosen.
Absolutely agree. Yes.
You play with them Murperts.
Everyone right.
This is for no. And here's the problem. And I apologize to you, the Rainbow Dawn. This is for your entertainment, not for mine. And I this is not who I am.
So when you look down, Goldwater, you see, remember also in the 80s, those practical effects, there was that same booger solution they used for anything that was vaguely slimy. The eyes get like big Puss in Boots, like huge eyes, and a little bit of a stroke, like, and he goes, I just wanted to help.
Oh, I want to adjust the lighting again. I wanted to like make it like a soft blue across the entire room.
And then Torg also at this point, their eyes are large as saucers, and they keep going, please, and they're like little tears are coming out of their cheeks.
First,
Please.
you may choose one scarf for me of any color or design. That is the allowance I'm willing to make. One scarf.
Rainbow Dawn, you have your orders. Scarf parade.
Scarf for Goldie. Torgy excited about scarf.
They scatter and they all begin to select their favorite scarf from the entire store. And some of them go into, you realize the spinner racks are their individual homes. You see the inside, they've sewn together the inside to be an inner wall. So to something their size that are kind of like yours. So they go into some of those little rooms to pull out special salvage to like present to Torg, because they've decided Torg is going to pick the scarf. So they literally do a scarf parade and they will runway it for you. So Kdin, what will be the music for this?
Ooh, I
Although
mean,
traditionally Mike's been the best at like picking soundtrack, but
oh gosh, I'm thinking early 70s pop. Oh, I'm too sexy. You know what? Never mind. That's it. That's perfect. Let's go. I'm too sexy. I mean, yeah, let's go. I'm too sexy.
So these little childlike mole miner fashion mutants. Well, there's a mouthful, huh? They start doing runway, and they take their lump of fashion look and they add a kicky scarf to it, and then we'll do the full walk, do the turn in front of Torg, and one goes to the side, and they must have seen something on Channel Infinity, and they literally will start narrating like, oh, they made a bold choice. I'm not sure I would have gone with the sparkly purple, but it works with the underlying blue palette they've chosen for that outfit. Let's see what Torg thinks. And they're going to give you like proper runway rundown. And then that one's Afternoon Ash is the one that does that. So Torg, you'll pick the one, and Torg, you're driven to like pull the bright colors and multicolors, right? Generally. Okay, so there's something for you that would be, to many other eyes, maybe a bit much, but when you see it, it's just fireworks in a scarf. And the one who's chosen presents it like they're presenting Fashion Excalibur to you.
So is this one scarf that's presented to Torg, or it's
Just the one, because they listen.
Okay.
Goldwater said one, so they're hoping you pick the one scarf.
no? But I mean, are they presenting me with one, or they're presenting me with options, and then Torg
Oh,
picks
they
the
did
one?
a whole thing. They showed you like 12.
Okay, and
Yeah.
so is this the one that Torg picked?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Do you?
No problem at all. No, I wasn't going to role play the selection process. We'll
Okay. So
we'll keep it playful, but we won't do roles for picking.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to double check. So can Torg or I make up what the scarf looks like that Torg picks?
Absolutely.
Yay.
So Torg approaches Goldwater. Goldwater, have you steeled yourself to the occasion? There doesn't seem to be any, like, they don't seem to have the kind of outlook that would be trying to make you perform or might be judging you, right? Like but they also seem to view all of this very differently than you do. And it's clearly they were like, to them, you look like a starving man. And you can see they're all looking eagerly, like hoping to make your life better, which is, they seem super wholesome little spinner rack trogs.
They do.
Torg approaches. Can you describe the chosen Excalibur scarf?
Yes. So Torg approaches, beaming, massive grin on their face. Torg is holding the scarf like it is the most gentlest puppy, small, little, sweet baby rip it's ever seen. And it's silk. Starting off, it's silk. It is very, very long. And it has these gorgeous silk tassels on the end, which are all different primary colors. The scarf itself is yellow, but not a neon yellow, more like a golden sunshine yellow. More like the yellow of an IRS badge. And the print all over it is like Keith Haring style dollar bills and little Keith Haring style people, like all over it. And Torg is so proud because Torg is positive that they found the perfect upgrade that Goldwater couldn't possibly be angry about.
The reaction to the little Muppets is kind of like in Toy Story, the little alien dudes. They go, they all then do like a little kind of a golf clappy thing.
The scar.
The
Yeah.
Excalibur.
All right, Goldwater.
And then Torg just goes, huh?
I'll take it and hang it loosely around my neck so that the tassels do not hit the floor. I'll nod to Torg and I'll turn back to the Rainbow Dawn. Thank you for this gift. I appreciate it. And I appreciate that you took time to welcome myself and my friends.
The youngest of them comes up and grabs your sleeve gently and pulls you over to the 5 mirrors
Mhm.
and wordlessly pulls you up to the mirrors. Do you go?
Yeah.
So I think we would get an insert of an anime shot where you're looking very much Cowboy Bebop. I'm picturing like the very muted suit with that scarf being like, whoosh, like, and actually fucking somehow totally works and gives you like a +2 charisma. And I think for even a moment, it's because it's always up to the player how to react. But I think what I can say narratively, or at least a moment, there would be that you would see that in the mirrors. Whether or not you choose to internalize that or not is entirely up to you. But you see that handsome guy with the kicky 70s porn scarf, the Emmanuel in Paris, that look. I think that's kind of what you're dealing with here.
In short, you look Italian.
My brand new suit, my brand new business suit, and my long scarf.
Yeah.
This feels appropriate.
And Torg just says, Goldie, understand? Goldie, get it? Goldie, get money. You, taxes. Goldie like taxman.
Oh, the symbols? Yes, of course. Insightful. You have a impeccable style, Torg.
Yeah, I mean, from a certain point of view, they kind of do look like little dancing text man all up and down the scarf. So I'm going to cut away to the group being back to the ninth life, and we're going to have Goldwater shift basically on the roof, the security shift. This Erik takes the longest shifts, although since his encounter with Jesus, I'm so happy I get to say that sentence out loud. He hasn't been as fixated on doing it all the time, right? He's more interested in spending some time playing cards, hanging out, drinking. So he's not like always been on the roof like he used to be. So the key question I have to ask is, while you're on the roof, are you wearing the scarf?
Yeah, I think I've taken to it a little bit. I didn't really like the circumstances, but it does look nice.
So I think the environment will have to accommodate you by like there being enough of a breeze to have it like, waving while you're out there and you've got like the binoculars so you look extra dashing.
Yeah, it's got to look good. It's got to. I need to have a striking pose, so the wind's got to work with me.
So this is the following day, and you're looking down the road. We get a smashing shot of how schmexy you look, and you're looking back down the road towards the approach, and you see a little bot. So it's a bot kind of like, not even bots we have now in the real world, kind of like bots we had 3 years ago. So generally just boxes with wheels. So they're more like kids' remote control toys than full bots. And it is chugging down the road. And you notice even from a distance, 2 things. 1, there is a message taped to it. And 2, what looks like Torg's braid is also tied to it.
All right, I'll make my way down from the roof.
Okay. So Lambda, are you a card player at all? Would you be playing cards with Erik, or would you be like in the corner of the room, like having taken over the booth, like to work on a design or something? Like, what's your downtime look like?
Let me double check something. Not long. Like, it would probably be very fast, right?
Very fast what?
Downtime, like just like kind of very.
Oh no,
just
I
like...
meant like when you're not on.
Oh, okay.
Are you like working on our projects? Are you hanging out with your new companions?
Oh,
Are you-
I'm showing off like whatever little wares to anybody and everybody who will listen. Like here's
So-
everything here's the new stuff. Here's the new attributes, the new little bits of attire. Can I interest you in these are for anybody who may be interested. If you would like, here is the new amazing things that we have. Would you like to partake? Would you like to join me in the amazing world of color? Besides this.
So please have the folding table and be the little crafter booth at Elysium. Like, where they have like old tour shirts that have been reworked into like baklavas and like jewelry made from old cassette tape labels and that kind of stuff. And I love the idea of you doing the hard sell when there's 4 people in the room, which is also pretty consistent with Elysium. So it sounds though like Erik and Torg are probably and D are probably shopping, because I saw a bunch of positive reactions. So even though you have a very limited clientele here, there are votes being kind of thrown in it's very much a take my money kind of situation.
Erik keeps trying on different shoulder pads from the different things. So he keeps tearing out the shoulder pads and sticking it in his jackets to see, like, not to try and build his shoulders up, but to see how square he can make them. Because he once saw a picture of Merritt Buttrick from Square Pegs and wanted to see whether or not he could make the like Astro shoulders thing happen.
So, Mr. DeLonzo, my ex-wife literally worked downtown in Chicago during a working girl her time has come period, where the shoulders were like to cut things with.
Yeah.
The pads where they did that, they were like a 90-degree. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you're working with that. Meanwhile, outside Goldwater, you approach the thing. So on the side of it is stenciled the logo of Curse, which is the skull wrapped in barbed wire. And you realize this could either be a proper bot or it could be remotely controlled. Go ahead and give me a notice check.
Notice is, sorry, 5. I got a partial.
You're not a tech guy, right?
No.
Okay, so you don't, when you look around, you don't see anyone watching the bot. So like you don't see, because a couple of times you've seen the dude with the Xbox controller, like doing that kind of thing. You don't see that. So this may be independent. So the braid is made of multiple strands of wig hair that are multicolored in a very similar way to Torg's actual hair and have been woven together, basically making a braid out of them. But the choice of colors can't be coincidental, because your first thought was like, I know it's not Torg's because I just saw Torg 5 minutes ago and their hair looked fine. And the note says, Torg, we would have left you alone, but you wouldn't let it go. You brought this on yourself. Surrender and the others will be spared.
Okay. I'm going to kick the bot over so it can't go anywhere.
Okay. The wheels turn for a little bit, like, and then stop.
Okay. And then I'm going to go inside.
Okay. So you
with the top knot and the note.
Oh yeah, you got it in your hand. They're all working through Lambda's spring product line, and aren't paying much attention to you as you enter the room, because they're all trying on bits and bobs.
I have bad news.
Okay.
What bad news could possibly ruin Torg's best day?
And
I pulled up the top knot and the note and say these are from Curse.
Torg not dumb, but Torg not remember who angry at Torg. Torg not sure what this mean.
Well, this came from Curse, and he's sort of mad at all of us for separate and distinct reasons, and also as a group, except for Lambda, at least so far.
And had captured you and had you cryo-frozen, and then you escaped. And the note says, would have let you go, but you wouldn't let it go.
Do you know what this means? I point at the top knot.
It resembles yours, but it's nowhere near as lustrous. It's like a doll hair version of your hair.
Didn't you have a friend you made who ended up kind of worshiping you that worked at a bar in a town near?
She lived in the Shire for a while, Mia.
Yes, I mean, of course, Torg remember Mia, but Torg not know what this would have to do with Mia, or...
No, if I recall, Mia's, I could be wrong. What's that behind you?
It's in the wasted world, magic causes all kinds of strange shit.
Okay.
God damn it.
This does resemble the braid that she made for herself to resemble your braid. I don't think it is that one, but it resembles it.
She dressed up as you. This could be her.
Torg remembers her braid not being so sad looking, so that's why Torg not recognize it. They must have ripped out strands from her braid. What? Torg slowly starts realizing what's happening and kind of goes silent and gets very, 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 very angry to the point where they stop talking and
Right
get
when that happens,
a
is
very
a crack.
intense look on their face.
There's a very sharp noise. A small hole appears in one of the windows, and there's a chunk taken out of a table. Erik, the kind of weapon that is almost certainly a sniper rifle.
Everybody down now.
Hit the deck.
So everybody hits the deck?
Yep. Most assuredly.
All right, so everybody's down. While you're down, Erik, looking at where everyone was standing and looking at the trajectory, right? Because we don't have full forensics here, obviously. You're not going up with yarn to figure out the bullet track.
Right.
You're very experienced with these things. You think if the sniper had wanted to kill one of you, they could have, which means that was we have guns trained in this building warning shot.
Can I tell the distance from the angle?
Give me a 4-die roll, please. A rules moment from Mike. When you have a logical request for a skill that doesn't map to a skill, you default to a 4-die roll, which can be adjusted up or down like any other roll. That way, we don't have to have every conceivable skill in the fucking skill list.
Well, I am successful.
So it would have been distant range. So not just far, but like where you would take up a sniper position.
Okay.
And you know this area fairly well, and you know a couple of likely candidates where that could have been.
So if I raise Karen with the scope, can I see the sniper?
You're going to have to make a stealth roll because you're pretty sure whoever's up there is watching the window, right?
Right.
But I'm assuming you want to sneaky peek with Karen's scope without making yourself a target, right?
That's right.
Okay, so give me a stealth roll with an extra die because you can take your time.
I am successful.
Okay, so because you know the area well, and you and Goldwater would have made a point of going, we're going to be living here and possibly defending this place for a while. You would have done walks together specifically for, here's a fallback. Here's a place where we can have a sniper position. Here's a place where we got to watch the approach. And you see that there is someone sitting in a third floor window of a ruins that you'd scouted for exactly that purpose. And they've got a bipod, and it's tracked on the 9th line.
Wow. And I can tell if it's on a bipod, then it's somebody who really knows what they're doing.
Yes.
So I will impart that wisdom to everybody.
Yeah, it is not like the people mostly who work for Curse have been Mad Max thug types. They've not been real professionals, but this person looks like a pro to you.
My assumption is that if I can see them, they can see me.
Mm-hmm.
So I like I said, I impart this to everybody. Tell them that it looks like a professional thing, and it's if they wanted to hit us, they probably would have. So it seems like it's probably a warning shot.
So Goldwater, you now hear coming from the position where you left the robot music. It's Never Gonna Give You Up. It's that song. You realize that the reason is probably because it was used during the 3rd plague for timing for washing your hands and face. So it's a song that sometimes people use as a timing song. So basically they're giving you an audible countdown with red hair.
Well, it's probably a bomb then. Everybody out the back door.
So Torg, you're holding the note that asks you to surrender yourself. Do you throw that thing away and ignore it, or do you head out alone?
I mean, go with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that makes the most sense. But Torg has the tendency to be super selfless. But I also think Torg trusts the team enough.
Hammer walks up in front of you. So Hammer is the middle-aged lady bodyguard with the oversized combat cyber arm designed for like
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
she
yeah,
walks
yeah.
right up to you, looks up at you and says, "Don't."
Torg takes this as the final sign of they should lean towards staying with family and goes and then heads off with the rest of the group.
Dixon asks Lambda, what should we do? I mean, it's me, Whiskers, and Obum. So Obum is a barback that's a goblin. Also in the building is Whiskers, and Whiskers' assistant, Morrowbeer, who's a big Viking biker leather daddy kind of a dude. And so do you want the staff to leave, or you just...
Yeah, everybody out.
Okay, I'll go run upstairs, because you know that Whiskers occupies the 3rd floor and generally sticks to himself. These days, if anyone wants to speak to Whiskers, they speak to Morrowbeer. Dixon will stop by Lambda and say, can you wait for us? This will take, I'll be quick, I promise.
Yeah, of course. We should, hurry.
Okay. And he runs up the stairs. Hammer turns to Erik. What's the play?
It's impractical to shoot right now. There could be more than one, and it's somebody that definitely knows what they're doing, and we are outgunned at the moment.
Marbear and I both have scatter guns. I'm kind of shit with it. I'm mostly about keeping my hands strong,
Up until very recently, I would have just shot and let it all get sorted out. But I think probably it's a better idea for us to go out and figure out our positioning and figure out what works best for everybody.
She shakes her head. This is a Jesus thing, isn't it?
You have to have met him to know, man. That's just a...
So why did you mark on the map, danger, don't go here?
It's a long story.
Because it seems like you'd want everyone to go there.
It's not for everybody. But if you want to meet Jesus, all you have to do is ask, and I'm sure he'll show up. I was doing
You've
it
been
for a
coming to
really
this
long
bar
time.
for a long time with your friends, and that used to be something you didn't want to hear Erik say. You offering to take someone to meet Jesus used to have a very different meaning, my friend.
Yeah, well, now that I've met the man, I can tell you exactly what it's like to take somebody to meet Jesus, and it is a different experience than I had originally anticipated.
A lot less blood, huh?
Yeah.
So while you're doing this, the rest of the group is all kind of heading out the back. I'm going to assume, because that's been how it is, that Goldwater kind of takes tactical, leads them out that way. Because Torg plays along with that, right? Because the way you put it was that Torg follows the family out. So Torg isn't like boldly going. Torg is following.
Oh, right. Yeah, I wouldn't quite say Torg's a follower, but yes, Torg is boldly going along with the family.
Certainly not saying Torg is a follower. Like, there's a difference between I'm depressed and I have depression. Torg following does not make Torg a follower. Let's never make that mistake even for a second. Goldwater, I need a notice check, please.
Sure. One success.
You think that the egress from the back has been rigged with tripwires.
Okay. I'll hold up.
So it looks like whoever has sent that message did their setup first and has taken unusually competent, not curse-like. Curse might have hired a pro, might have coughed up some money to take care of the situation, which apparently involves Torg.
I can't go out the back door. There's a trap.
I think camera-wise would even sweep and see like maybe even a mine with a blinky light to make it more dramatic looking.
Yeah, not realistic. Torg, take everybody through the side window. I'll be behind you.
And you realize
Torg, understand.
You realize you're about 2/3 through Rick Astley's most infamous hit.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to try to stealth out. And at this point, Dixon comes down and Morabir comes down. And Morabir is trying to pull. He tends to wear a muscle shirt that doesn't quite fit and like chaps and things that he's comfortable in, but like leaving the place is not. So he's pulling on another layer of clothes, and Dixon is carrying a cat carrier. So everybody heads out the side.
I wanted to stay back to do something. Maybe
Okay.
Time. Unfortunately, it's probably going to blow up a little bit of the bar. Not a ton. A little bit of the bar.
There's a great sentence.
After everybody's clear, I'm going to grab a heavy mug from the bar and throw it down the hallway at the tripwire to set it off.
Okay.
Set off the bomb.
The reaction isn't what you maybe expected. There's a series of they're explosions, but they're not meant to be shrapnel or concussive force. What happens is the entire back of the building now has smoke. And when that happens, all of you who have now come out the side here at far, so not distant, like just over there, you hear weapon So at this point, I'm going to need initiatives. So you're going to roll your speed dice and add them up. Erik, what is yours? Yeah, and there's no successes or anything here. You just literally roll that many dice and add them together.
6,
32.
All right. And Goldwater?
28. I rolled really high. 28 plus 7 is 35, 34, 35.
And D. D?
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
No, just now, but not before we said it. Did you tell us what your initiative was?
Yeah, 38.
Thank you. Zippy quick. And Torg?
Funny.
20. Your job is not initiative. You have other jobs and you do them very well. Lambda.
See. $28.
All right. So the first person to act is going to be D. D. You can't. So give me a notice check before I tell you what you can't. Maybe you can. You might be wrong about
Oh no, I can't.
that. So you hear that there are people with weapons over there, but you can't see them. They're behind things. But you know roughly where they are. What do you do?
Honestly, I'm really not sure because this is not my
No.
full battle like setup. This is not good for me actually. So, I think I'm just gonna ready my pistol
Okay.
and wait. I think
Okay.
that's what I'm gonna do right now.
Goldwater is in the building. He's just done that. How do you react to that news, Goldwater?
Which news? Sorry.
The smoke. The smoke curtain.
Well, that was to let them know if we went out the back door. We didn't, but they think we did, so that's good. I'm gonna now rush to the window that everybody else.
Okay, so you'll be joining the group. Erik?
Erik aims and tries to find a shot.
So do you want to see one of the people up here, or do you want to look for the sniper?
I'm gonna look for the sniper.
Okay, give me a notice check, please. And by the way, I'm going to editorialize as the GM. Yeah, that's a great idea. Please fucking shoot the sniper. Just saying.
I have partial success.
Okay, so you can shoot, but you don't have a really good shot. So you're going to be doing it with a kind of a disadvantage. Do you want to take the shot anyway?
So I want to take the same shot that we got.
Okay, so you're going to kind of line yourself up. Okay, so go ahead and don't use any of your feats. You're going to do this as a straight shot shoot test. You're down 1 die.
Okay.
So I think it's still plenty because you're Erik.
I am doubly successful.
He's good at shooting, y'all. Okay, so you are going to roll your damage. Score an extra die for me.
Okay.
And he only has 3 points of defense. So anything that scores 3 or higher is going to score 2 points of damage. Anything with a 6 will score the crit damage additionally.
Oh boy. Okay, so we got 4 and a crit. So that's 5. And then let me re-roll the crit and a 3. So
that's 10. And what's your crit value? 3?
yeah.
So that's 13 points of damage. Give me another notice check.
No, miserable failure.
Okay, so the target drops down, but you couldn't see whether you took him out or not.
Okay.
Lambda. So you've got a big gun. Do you want to engage in combat?
Yeah.
Give me a notice
100%.
check, see if you can see any of the people approaching the building.
Let's see.
There is literally a combat team approaching the building. They seem very intent on getting Torg.
I have 2 partials.
Okay. So you see movement, you can shoot, but like just happened with Erik, it's going to be at a bit of a disadvantage because you don't have a very clear shot because they're behind cover. Take the shot anyway?
Taking the shot anyway.
Do you want to do it at auto? So the difference between regular and auto is if you fire auto, partial success counts as success. The downside is it's easier for the gun to jam if you miss.
I'll do auto.
Okay, so click, click, brrr. Go ahead and do a shoot. You're down 1 die.
Okay.
So 1 die less than normal. You're looking for 5s or 6s because with auto, a 5 will be a hit. So any 5 or 6 means you hit.
I have 3 5s.
Okay, because you shot auto, 3 5s is a hit. So roll your damage for the weapon.
Okay.
I think it's 4 for an auto pistol.
Yeah.
And anything that scores a 3 or higher is going to score 2 points. And let me know if you get any 6s, because that's also a crit.
I have 2 4s, a 3, and a crit.
Okay, so that's going to be 6 points plus the crit. Is it a crit of 3 for the auto pistol?
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to be 9 points. That's actually enough. So the scavenger fashion designer pulls out. You're like, I would think you might have like a nickname for the big gun you carry, just in case. What's your nickname for the gun?
Trudy.
So you pull out Trudy, and you maybe have fired a few times at bottles and things, but you're like, in the heat of the moment, you brrr, and you take down an opponent. Down. What is your response to that? Like a woohoo, or like any life lost is a terrible tragedy? Like, how does Lambda respond to that?
Good old trusty Trudy never lets me down.
Yeah.
And Torg. I need a notice check from Torg.
Torg found Thumbtack and said, fuck it.
You're working
So.
the eccentric magic of the wasted world, huh? Restoring the world back. So go ahead and make a notice check for me, please.
Alrighty. Let me pull up my sheet. Get back into serious business.
Exactly.
Serious business time.
It's not all fashion shows. Sometimes you got to shoot a person.
No. Okay, sorry. What did you want for me again?
Notice check under perception.
A notice check. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
No, the world was falling apart. It's completely understandable.
Okay. I also want to explain for anyone that was watching and was wondering why I look like I was smiling and laughing and going awe with my face while Erik was shooting things. And it was because Barrett and I's dog Juniper was sleep barking very loudly in the background, and it is ridiculously cute and very, very hard to not react to, at least.
Yeah. It's
facially.
So what, did you get the notice check?
Yeah.
You notice the dog going.
Am I just looking for 6s here?
6, any 6 or better.
Okay, yeah, I got 2 6s.
You realize that somebody is coming into the bar.
Okay.
So you didn't see the explosion of smoke, only Goldwater did. Goldwater just came out of the bar through the window. You now hear there's movement behind him.
Okay, so I mean, I would obviously alert Goldwater immediately.
So?
I would just, probably just go, because I'm so huge. Hopefully they would just see me waving so I wouldn't have to yell.
Yeah.
And go. And I'm pretty sure Goldwater can, assume when the over 7 foot, 40-year-old, 200-pound giant looks terrified and is pointing, then there's something behind you.
Erik, what's your firearm defense? This is the third one?
Yeah, maybe 3.
You take 8 hits.
Oh,
A bullet wings you in the shoulder. That's going to be 1 injury, but it won't be. So you take an injury, but you won't get a condition.
do you want me to roll it?
Sorry?
Do you want me to roll the injury?
Yep.
3.
Just time. Yep. All right. Then we go back to D. D, you see Torg is clearly like pointing back into the bar.
I am going to go ahead and hit my aggressive stance, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tear up back there.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that the stance is going to be a very specific stance,
Yeah.
and we're going to have like at some point. I'm going to ask Mike. Can 819 find us a music stinger for every time D goes into a stance that we can have Colt like play the stinger. Because I know in a TV series, she would absolutely have a fucking stinger for going into stance.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So that music plays, and you hop through the window, and you see that there are 2 people, and they are wearing pigskin. So they've got the heavy leather the cops used to use, and they also have goggles that are tinted, which you know are, well, you might not know. You may not know what that's for. And they actually have submachine guns.
Cute.
Do you wish to engage one of them? So it looks like what happened is the trap that Goldwater set off was both a signal, but also created an obscuring fog that they then entered through.
Got it. Yeah. Is the fog still happening?
It's behind. It's not in this room at all. So you would see little bits of it, like coming from like the parking lot.
Got it. Can I? I'm gonna take a gentle stab at this, and hopefully to brutally stab them. But I would like to do it in like a home base slide kind of way.
I'm not sure I get you drift.
I would like to go in and attack them as per usual, but I would like to do it a little bit more like cut their ankles as opposed to rip their faces, right? Like.
Gotcha. So do you want to do a cinematic action?
Yes.
Okay. So the way that works is you're going to do a brawl melee.
Cool.
And you need to get 2 6s, otherwise it fails.
Do I get any plusies for positivity?
You do not, but you didn't take a negative.
Okay.
You might have.
I also might enact good karma.
We're not using karma today.
Suck it!
Did you do nice?
Yeah. I got 2 6s and the rest are terrible.
She comes in with a flip, does the knife to the side thing, and you literally cut his Achilles tendon in half. Like you cut it.
You just watch him instantly like lose his whole balance, like he flew down a flight of stairs, but he will never stand back up.
He would groan and crumble. All right. Yikes. So you hear from inside that wee, which you know is often like the pro tip. That means D just did something bloody and terrible. Goldwater, what do you do?
I turn back to look back in the building.
She is engaged in combat with 2 infiltration people, and one seems to have been neutralized by cutting his damn Achilles tendon.
Okay.
But the other one, it looks like she's got it, actually.
Like she got them both?
No, but got it in the larger sense of probably doesn't need help.
Where are we at in the song?
It is about to end.
All right. I don't know if I can make this happen, even though I've got like run and gun. I'm not really gunning.
Yeah.
I want to like jump in, grab D by the back of the jacket and get us both out the window. Just because I think something bad's gonna happen with that robot.
You want to extract D?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me, so that's again a cinematic action. That's gonna be a run.
Okay.
You can use a bonus die, but you're gonna need 2 successes.
Oh my
All right. I'll use bonus die and hopefully get somewhere with this. No, I got 1 partial, so I think we're
Okay.
still in the building.
So what I'm going to read that as is D is not easily grabbed and extracted.
Right.
So I think D probably flips away without even fully realizing what you're doing, because D is in full-on combat mode, like the anime version of her would have skulls in her eyes.
Yeah.
god. I look like my boyfriend.
Oh my God, you're right. Erik, so you're involved in a very sniper the movie sniper off with another sniper while you're sniping. What do you want to do?
He sniped me. I know he sniped me, right?
Yep.
So
Do you want to return the snipe?
well, what's my injury?
Oh no, it's just literally the injury. Not you didn't take a condition.
Oh, okay. Yes, I would like to return the snipe in the same way, but I want to wing him.
So you're not trying to.
I am
Oh, you're
not
not trying to hit it the same place.
right.
Okay. Go ahead and take a standard shot. If you get 2 or more successes, you can return it to the same area. It's fine.
Oh my God, I am brutally unsuccessful. I got 4 1s and 2 4s.
Holy crap. Wow.
And no 5s.
0.
So that would mean the gun, if you weren't a gunslinger, Karen would have jammed. But in fact, it may have even slightly, and you're like, stop that. Like slapped it.
Right.
It doesn't jam, but the shot doesn't go off properly. All right. Lambda, you want to see if you can. So at this point, 4 henchmen, for want of a better term, with submachine guns come into near range. So you have, I said 3 because you killed one of them. Do you want to see what you can do about another one?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, do a shoot. Do me a
All
shoot.
right.
And these guys
Let's-
are not wearing pigskin like the inside. They're wearing light leathers.
I'm not a die down anymore, right?
No, this is a straight one.
Straight shooting's the only thing I do. Okay. 2 successes and a partial.
Okay, so that means you get an extra success. So go ahead and shoot your shot. So do the damage, which is 4 dice. Again, anything 3 or better is going to score 2 points extra for crits.
Okay. I have 2 3s, a 6, and a 5.
Oh my God. And re-roll the 6.
Another 6.
And again, because it's exploding, so you keep re-rolling it.
And a 5.
Okay. Describe what happens to him, please.
I'm
It's
firing
not,
on.
It's not good.
I'm firing. Am I firing? Did I choose auto again, or am I firing?
I assumed until you tell me. It's
Okay,
different,
okay,
you always
all right.
repeat it. Yeah.
So much akin to the scene of RoboCop is what we're seeing here. Is this particular individual is getting completely evaporated by bullets, and just a very gleeful giggle from Lambda as this person is essentially turned into what can only be affectionately called as person paste, but it's very bright. So again, as per Lambda's favorite things, it's adding color to the wasteland. So it's delightful. It's a lot of color. A lot of red just went everywhere.
So it'll be shot with kind of like almost a peck and paw fixation on the arcs and how that looks. Yeah.
It's
Awesome.
very like the more streams of red in various different directions, the better. It's like streamers.
So Torg, you see that Erik is having a snipe off with a sniper. You see that your scavenger friend is apparently gonna just mow down the incoming forces. And inside you hear that your somewhat childlike assassin friend is, and you probably actually saw Goldwater go in looking like, I'm going to get her out, but you hear like, whee! She's clearly still in there kicking ass. What do you do?
Does anybody need help?
Where are our little
Who's left?
friends? You need to
Who's left?
There's one more gunman that's coming in on you. Inside, there's one more infiltration guy that's squared off against D, and there's a wounded sniper. So not a lot.
Okay, so you said there's a gunman coming in?
Yep.
All right. Well,
Lambda's just been mowing them down.
well, then maybe I'll just let Lambda take care of the gunman, and then I guess I'll take care of the sniper.
Well, you'd have to run for a few rounds.
Oh, right. Never mind. Yeah. Well, then I'll take care of the last gunman then.
Okay, so you're gonna run in. I think I gave you charge.
Let me double check.
Do you want to charge?
Let me look. Gosh darn it, which window did I have my sheet in? Oh, there it is. Where would charge be?
Let's assume you have it, and if you did it, I'm going to give it to you after this. So go ahead and roll brawl melee with an extra die.
Okay.
Do you utter a battle cry, or is this a calm thing, or what's your demeanor like?
Gosh darn it, why can't I? Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, you said brawl melee with a extra die.
Extra die.
All right. So seeing that everyone seems to be doing very well,
Yeah.
instead of an angry like charge, Torg just goes at him with pure smile and joy, like, I'm gonna enjoy this because this can't possibly go wrong. Very excited energy. Like imagine, a very large dinosaur just tipping towards you with glee, but when it gets there, it's gonna bite your head off.
Using the principle that we've used a few times of we only test when the outcome is uncertain, I think at this point we just show the camera, we kind of see you in silhouette, just there's a crack noise. I'd almost do like a Batman like animation of the crack, and that person just folds it out. Inside, I don't think we even see D finish the other one. I think we would just see Goldwater's face and just hear like, whoopee! And Erik, you don't see the sniper anymore.
Okay.
So aftermath of battle, one of the guy inside whose Achilles tendon was cut is not dead. He's still alive.
Oh, who's gonna ask him some questions?
I'll do it.
I needed that.
Yes, and we'll get you medical attention as soon as possible. I'm sorry that didn't seem to go the way you had hoped.
It was pretty well planned. Is she always like that?
No, normally she's amiable and cheerful.
They catch her on a bad day?
No. You just became a danger.
Oh.
I'll start removing his boot and trying to wrap the ankle injury.
He looks a little confused, but helps. Like and he pulls his hands away, and also will reach in and pull it. He disarms himself.
Good.
So what? And you're Hamilton, right?
No,
I heard Hamilton.
no, that's no. That must be someone else. I'm Agent Delano Goldwater. Hamilton works the Oklahoma territory.
So I was told there was an Agent Hamilton and someone named B and Erik and the important one was the troll. But honestly, they don't look like a troll.
A lot of your information seems half correct. Who gave you this mission?
I'm assuming it was through Curse or his people.
So you didn't meet anyone directly?
No, we never do. I mean, I'm a merc. I'm a merc. This is not my fight, except I was paid to make it my fight.
You're certainly more professional than most.
Yeah, but maybe like we could have used more in our squad. Again, I don't think all we were told is that B was kind of bookish, something about being a reporter. Like that was not a bookish reporter.
No, B is no longer with the team.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that explains that.
Someone, I hate to tell you this, but someone miscalculated.
So if I can give you information you can use, am I getting out of here alive?
Yeah, of course.
So I'm going to have to leave the area because if it gets to anyone that I gave up information, I'm not going to get jobs here. But you get how that works, right? But it's better than if this new person decides to come back in and giggle and rip my balls off or something, because that seems like a non-zero possibility to me.
No, to be honest, I follow the CIA's recommended interrogation techniques, which are based upon finding mutual trust and respect for whoever you're trying to get the information from. So torturing somebody doesn't do any good. I've spoken to people about this before.
Right? It's normally about how you feel about it, not the information you have.
Exactly. And if I was to say start pulling your fingertips off, you'd tell me whatever you thought I wanted to hear, not what I actually want to hear.
And if you were wired that way, you might get your yas off, but you're not going to get useful intel.
No.
All right. Well, okay, here's the thing. Your friend Torg,
Mm-hmm.
I assume that's the one with the braid, right?
Yes.
I mean, you know they've been attacking Curse's forces, right?
Torg? During what period of time?
The last couple of months.
No, that's not possible.
No, I got multiple sources tell me this.
Well, I've come and gone from here a few times, but every time I return, Torg is here.
Small guerrilla groups, all with that braid.
Okay, well, that's not Torg. That's someone inspired by Torg, and that's a different issue entirely.
But not. So Torg isn't commanding these forces?
No, Torg is inspirational, I will say. But Torg has never shown any leadership affinity.
Well, you can see where the mistake might be made, right?
Yes, if they're wearing Torg's gear and dressing up as Torg and wearing.
Well, and because apparently you've had beef before.
Curse is one of the worst human beings that may have existed since the fall. So yes, we have had run-ins with Curse.
So the only thing I can give you that's useful, and it might be what you need to get me the hell out of here, is I do know one of the places, because I investigated when we got the job, and so I looked into places where I might look for them other than here. And I got a report. I got a place you could look if you want to find these people.
Yes.
So I'm going to need to get into my pack.
Well, I know you're not going to do anything. You're not stupid.
Okay, yeah, and all your friends are giving me the fuck you glare.
Yes.
I'm not sure your friend, I'm not sure your pixie friend is done playing yet, And that's really got me kind of tweaked and nervous. I got to be honest.
Don't worry.
Okay. I wish she'd stop laughing when it looks like she's going to kill me. It's really, I'm going to have trouble sleeping, man.
Just know she laughs at a lot of things, and very rarely is it because she wants to kill someone.
Okay. So he reaches into his pack and he pulls out a crumpled fast food cup. Colt, can I have the logo, please?
Ah.
So you can find them, as far as we know, at the last remaining Citrus Caesar in the entire Texan area.
I want to go to there.
So we're going to take our bio break here.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. We'll be back in about 5. No flipping. Please come on back. We've got more insanity ahead and a couple of other, at least small secrets revealed. Welcome back. We rejoin our team of intrepid. I'm always afraid. I mean, I'm used to saying intrepid adventurers because I'm a D&D guy, but it really doesn't apply here. I always use like team or companions. Team, I guess. We rejoin our intrepid team. It's the next day, and you have located and are closing in on. Throw up the logo again, please, Colton. Citrus Caesar. So Citrus Caesar, back in the day, had outlets in every airport and a lot of neighborhoods, and features a very particular citrusy drink that doesn't taste really like anything else. And they had the logo, I came, I saw, I drank. And it's someplace that Torg has been looking for literally decades. So the whole way up, Torg has been excited. I would assume Torg has been excitedly talking about the wonders of Citrus Caesar. And up ahead, there is one. And this is not part of the mall. It's not part of an airport. It's a standalone location. And the standalone locations were kind of like corner lots about the size and in the areas where you put like a White Castle. So real small kind of places. Also, generally, they wouldn't have full dining rooms that have like drive-up, walk-up windows, because 90% of what they sold was just that damn drink. And they come down like a slushie. And they have the big sign up front, and it's damaged because it's over a century old and it's not functional. But the logo is clearly there. And I think we're going to start this sequence with like a shot where we do a tracking from Torg's feet up to their face and then over to the sign. So Jen, that's basically the face Torg is making, is this look of wonder. So team, how do you approach the vendor of eccentric citrus libation?
You know that Torg does immediately. However, instead of running, Torg wants to savor this moment, and Torg is so overcome with emotion because, as you said, Torg has been searching for this famed, rumored last location of Citrus Caesar. And so it's the culmination of 40 years of searching. And for a reason Torg is never really revealed fully.
Right. So as you're approaching,
And is crying, but not in like a sobbing way, but tears are just like coming out of Torg's eyes as Torg smiles and cries and slowly approaches as if it's like a holy place.
so again,
Because it
leaning back
is.
on anime tropes like the super emotional streaky tears.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So as Torg is approaching, it's clearly like just walking straight towards it. Less direct approach minded folks at this point being Erik and Goldwater, you would notice the place has been reinforced. So all of the windows have been boarded up and reinforced. So it's a place that had taken some damage, over the years, but has at least at some point, probably recently, been reinforced. So there's very likely someone in there. D and Lambda, you notice there is graffiti all over it, and it's all in different colors. So like it's everything that's written is written in a different. It's like somebody just found like a big box with spray cans. It was tagging in different colors, and it's all things like believe in yourself, you can do it, you are special, you are the only one, we are here for you. And then over and over again, we are Torg. And in some cases, the Torg was written with each letter in a different color.
Wow.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I've been waiting for so much color, and here it all is.
And
You
Barrett,
take words out of Torg mouth.
Barrett's become sensitive to abandoned cars for reasons. Longtime viewers know what the reasons are. You would notice the area has been cleared to be defensible. Like any abandoned car has been pulled free, enough that it would be hard to get a good approach position on the place. Like someone who knew at least something set this up to be defensible, which is worthwhile, clearly. Erik, how do you feel about having used Karen?
Not happy. Conflicted. I think.
To fill listeners in, Erik has actually not shot Karen since he met Jesus. Again, I'm going to get to giggle myself to sleep tonight. But, okay, so you look a little less happy-go-lucky right now?
Yeah, more of at a sort of crossroads mentally, not like sad the way he was for so long or burdened, but just sort of a little bummed out, I guess.
Pensive, maybe?
Yeah.
As you approach, you'll see that there are shutters built into the boarding they did on the upper, because there is an upper floor, which is normally in these places where you would have like the office where you'd fire your hourly employees regularly so they wouldn't get benefits. Like all that kind of fuckery was done on that little second floor, and often there's storage up there. And you see that the shutter opens and there's somebody looking out, which has a little bit of a Wizard of Oz feel. I need, who's got the best notice dice? Was that
6.
Was that Goldwater? Or was that Erik? Let's have Erik do it.
Okay.
Give me a notice check.
I am successful.
So the little slide opens. You see the eyes widen. So again, the camera shot would pan so you see the eyes, and then it slams closed. But you hear a
Hello?
So I'm gonna wait a sec for Jen.
There she is.
So you're approaching, and you hear. So the front door is very heavily reinforced, but there's like a couple of speakers that are hung from it by wire, like coat hanger wire, and through the speakers you hear, "Who goes there?" You're muted.
Torg was so excited. Torg forgot how mute works. Obviously, Torg is gonna be the first to speak, and Torg, still very verklempt from everything that has just happened, considering Citrus Caesar and this band of merry thems ready to take on Torg's mission. Torg just says, while choked up still, Torg is Torg.
And you hear, and those of you that are good with insight, not if you roll, you know who you are. You realize that this is like a call and response for them, so they're not thinking about it, they just do it. A bunch of voices from the other side of the door you hear together say, "We are Torg." Okay, can you just stay right there. We can see you for just a minute. It's almost ready.
Wow.
Torg ask what's almost ready.
Just hang on, just 1 minute. It's really cool. It'll be fine. Just stay right there, because you don't know. Shut up. Let me do it. And then you see the door opening, and inside, picture the Lost Boys. But very diverse in terms of like clearly gender, race. Like take the Lost Boys and make them like the Lost Boys of Boys Town, and then give them all Torg braids. And what they're presenting is a nearly complete suit of power armor that's been painted to look like a giant Torg. And it's real slow, so it's more like a loader lifter, right? Like it's not a proper military thing, but it's like a big, and there's a regular human-sized person in it, but it's like about as tall as you are, actually. And they just rush forward to come hug you.
Torg, very overwhelmed, and just starts laughing hysterically but happily because the whole thing is utterly insane. And while they didn't ask for it, and it's not necessarily something that they wanted because now it's going to draw more attention to them, they can't help but be flattered and amused by this whole thing.
Yeah, you're basically a pile of delighted, and most of them are young, right? Like they're mid-teens to mid-20s for the most part. There's a couple older, but they're largely young. And they're all full of just admiration and affection.
This is the best pride ever. This is great.
Does the rest of the group just watch Torg and Torg's new friends?
Oh, I'm just excited to just see this unfold. I just want more of it. Whatever's happening is the best thing that ever happened to me in my entire life.
So Goldwater, I think you're capable of the most actual detachment. I mean, Erik could be also, but has got his own thoughts. So I think you would hear And this would not register for Torg because Torg is currently overwhelmed by the attention and the focus and such.
Can I say one thing just
Oh, of
before
course,
I forget? Because it just occurred to me because obviously I just found out about this plot point. But it's Legend of Billie Jean.
So I used to give people that played campaigns with me extra experience points if they caught on to my themes and references. Usually every game I've got a theme, and I would used to give D&D like I'd give like 1,000 experience points if somebody was like, the theme was fallen heroes, and so yeah, it's fucking legible.
Dude, sorry, I have to interrupt only because Legend of Billie Jean, hugely influential for Tiny Jed Brown. Also, my uncle is in that movie. He was an actor in the 80s. He's technically my second cousin, but I call him my uncle because I don't have any brothers or sisters. So my cousin Christina and her husband feel like, anyway, it's just easier. But he used to be an actor in the 80s, and his name is Rex Lee, and he plays one of the bully assholes that beat up Christian Slater and steal his bike. And there's the scene where they're like driving in the red convertible like down the highway, and there's like the big guy driving with a bandana being like, woo!
Yep.
That's my uncle.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've seen that movie dozens of times.
Yeah, and the way I found out was because I was hanging out with them, and I was like, the movie came on. I'm like, oh, I love this movie. This is a great movie. And they said nothing until like the scene
awesome.
come up. It was like 11-year-old Jen was like, what?
Huh? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah. The gloomy edgelord hero that loves special effects makeup. Guess what Mike was watching for?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
That
mean, we
movie
obviously
is-
found different things, but that was mine.
Yeah, that's amazing. That movie is the like only rape revenge movie of the 80s that matters.
Well, there's a statement, and I want that with like Jen Brown at the bottom as a like Goldwater. You
Yes.
overhear the following. The Torg clearly does not hear. One comments to the other. They're as amazing as she said.
Who said?
When they look over, not having like they were just talking to each other, and one looks over. And they headed towards you, and they're a mutant that's actually got 6 eyes, and looks over to see that Torg isn't listening. Torg's friend Mia.
Do you know where Mia is right now?
Yeah,
Where? Captured?
she's gone. She said that she had fallen in love with Torg and went to Torg for something that Torg couldn't give. What Torg gave her was belief in herself. And she said that if she thought she was Torg too. Because Mia used to wear a braid like Torg's. So then she shared that with us. Some of us grew up with Mia. And she told us that we should be strong like Torg told her to be. And that we could all be Torg too.
Being Torg is worth it.
We've been fighting Curse.
Answer your phone. Answer your phone, mutant.
Where was I? So I don't know if you know this, but Curse is one of the worst people ever
Yes.
to live in the wasteland.
Very aware. My friends and I've had a number of run-ins with Curse.
So we've been fighting back. we've been recruiting from people that don't have other families, because the other thing that Torg taught Mia is you find your own family.
Mm-hmm.
So we did. We made a lot of progress. We took a lot of trophies, because that was another thing Mia told us about. We have an entire trophy room. A lot of years.
Yes, I'm sure.
No, man. You don't know.
Well,
I mean,
it's been busier than I expected.
most of what Mia said is like self-help book, but not stupid kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
But the ear thing was a hard sell with a lot of us. But Mia, she had a compelling way about her, and she taught me we take ears, okay?
Well, if you're trying to be Torg, then you take ears or some other trophy.
We had enough success that we've got like a Christmas trees they used to put like popcorn,
Yes,
and so we've kind of got that, but ears.
that's gross.
It's really kind of awful. On the other hand, we can look at it and we know, I was trying to find that's just terrible.
Maybe
Everything else is
Torg about that being optional. Honestly, she did not set this up. Mia did. So I don't know if Torg by being Torg, would want you to do that.
They lean in. Between us, I love Mia, and Mia was great, but Mia was a little cuckoo for coconuts,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the best way. And I understand coconuts are amazing. Never had one. So about this time, Torg is free of the pylon, and they're all but there's a lot of there was a scene in Beyond Thunderdome where the kids from the Wasteland are all kind of like touching the weapons and the clothing. I'm picturing that's how they treat Torg. It's like, oh, that's the legendary cinder block on a mop handle stick. Ooh. And they're all like regarding you that way very clearly with big pie eyes. You've got to see the ears, Torg. Come on.
You're muted still.
Move the Colossus out of the way. Okay, hang on. I don't know how reverse works.
Did Torg hear ears correctly?
And one of the others looks up, and he's a little dog boy. Yeah, we heard you took ears.
Torg not take ears. Torg take trophies and monuments to honor. Torg kill some ears, but not all ears. Ears,
So
small portion.
if someone took a lot of ears, that wouldn't be a problem, though, right?
Torg think no.
Okay, I'm a little less excited to show you now, but come on in. So they take you inside, and the inside is literally the inside of a little fast food place with a lot of Citrus Caesar paraphernalia, and and they clearly live here, so there are beds and so forth, bedrolls, but hung from the ceiling and stringers like you do when you're setting up for like Halloween, there are dozens of severed ears. It's like they decorated with the aesthetic of, it would look great, severed ears. So ta-da!
You know what Torg say about this?
No. Hang on. Dusty. And one of them runs up and actually has a clipboard. What does Torg say?
Oh, Torg not expect to be quote literal, but Torg say if hanging ears brings joy to your heart, then Torg love. But if hanging ears make you unhappy and think it look a little macabre and terrifying, Torg say glitter fix all.
Rico, Dawn, Rico goes over and picks up a big box of spray cans and runs out the door. Dawn goes and gets a little canister of glitter and hands it to you. So we should take glitter ears?
Torg just suggesting glitter. Torg not say it only glitter ear, but maybe they're rhinestone ear or color ear or hairy ear, or everyone can take a different ear and make it their own personal trophy with whatever decoupage.
All right. Brothers, sisters.
Time out.
Well, hold on. Time
out. Torg speaks in broken English 100% of the time, but whips out fucking decoupage as a word as part of their vocabulary.
Torg vernacular not lacking.
Torg have great vocabulary.
A little
Torg vocabulary very big,
Vast.
incredibly large.
indicative vernacular not as big, but vocabulary bar none.
Enormous.
Uh-oh, we've got
We
runaway.
chased Torg away.
So we'll say that Lambda, you notice that the one that had the cans of spray paint.
Yes.
Sorry, y'all.
split
I had to go get a distraction for our dog because Juniper keeps barking.
So Lambda, you see that they are spray painting everything that Torg just said on the side of the building.
Oh, so it's like a whole. So are these are written rules? These are.
They kind of look like they're like maxims they live by.
Huh. You know what? I love this. I mean, this is so much better than writing things down in books.
And you see the inside of the place is very much like revolutionary underground, but it's also like a fan club. And there's a lot of fan art of Torg, like pinned to the walls, like things people who have seen or have heard Torg described. There's a lot of like deviant art pictures of Torg.
Oh, there's so much. This is a whole little club scene going on here. It's Torg chic. I love this.
Torg, you realize that there's one person here that you don't see. It probably takes you a minute, but eventually, like your brain would stop like super firing and you'd be like, oh, you know who's not here? And you see a drawing of her, and it's actually up on the menu board. You are muted.
Okay, here's the thing. I want to unmute it, but if I do, that means you're going to hear my dog's very gross, very loud licking noises.
You
Gotta
know,
live with it.
that's to somebody that just added 2 stars to the stream. And let's not, lick shame the dog. It's fine.
Hey, I'm not lick shaming her. I'm just saying I I need to explain why
Oh,
in
no, it's
moments
all
of silence you're gonna hear.
So the picture of Mia says always in our hearts on it.
Torg hate ask this question, but you know what? Torg don't think Torg have to ask this question. Torg just assume Mia inspire all
You know,
this.
they all nod together. She made her own family.
Torg, I'm sorry, she's being so loud. I can just hear it. It's so loud. Sorry.
It's actually not coming through. Colt, Colt, give me a licking audio check, please. Okay, good. So like a 2. So Mike, are we
Can
okay
you
to move
can you
forward
pot
with
that
2?
up? Yeah, can we pot that lick up a little bit?
Give
Great.
a little bit of an echo on there will be
Yeah, a
nice.
little reverb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
that'd be great.
make it real sound real good. Sound like
That can be the stinger for whenever we.
We can make it a haunt your dreams kind of a thing. They all are very somber and resolute about that and seem at peace with it.
So Mia gone now.
She was killed during one of our actions.
How? What action? Who order action? Torg want to know all detail.
We decided everything together because she said that's what your family does. And we decided the curse is a bad man and we want him to go away. So we've been fighting back.
Well, Torg find that very noble.
They literally cheer. There's like they're not like huzzah people, but there is a cheer and they all look very pleased. A couple of them start crying.
Oh, Torg not want you to rely on Torg validation for validation, but Torg validate.
So one of them actually takes you by the hand and leads you outside and points at the wall. And what you just said is on the wall because you literally did say that to Mia. I believe you literally said that as Jen during the cast. So they point at your own words and say, that's what Mia taught us. Thank you.
Torg, sorry, I wanted to mute it just so that while you were talking, you wouldn't hear.
What you don't know about me, it's a little like the Hulk. I hear that all the time.
You also have tinnitus. Torg gets very choked up and starts, tearing up again. And Torg say, Torg proud of Mia. Mia die, Torg assume fighting hard.
Well, she wasn't very good at it, but she was devoted.
Torg must ask, did other Torgs win that day?
Yes, we did. We lost a couple, but we won. Do you know who we are, Torg?
Torg ashamed to admit, Torg, not know you exist. But Torg also very proud to know you not exist, because that mean you exist for you and not simply for Torg to notice.
We are people that didn't have other families. We are people who weren't accepted because some of us are mutants. We have a goblin here. We have a couple people that are two soul people, and their families didn't want them, and they found a family here. And now we are Torg.
That make Torg very happy.
Good. Well, we're gonna go fuck up some of Curse's men, and we could use some help.
Ooh, Torg and the Torgs. Torg, like it.
Sounds like a band. I always
Torg and
feel like
the Torgers, Torg and the Torgettes, Torg and the Torpedoes.
I don't like the Torgettes thing, but Torpedoes I like.
Torpedoes.
Torpedoes. Oh no. Yeah. Say
Like
that
a
to yourself
torpedo.
a few times.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Let's
right.
give that one a swipe
Right.
left, whatever that means.
Torg, see how it sounds like bad thing when Torg mean like boomy, shooty thing, not touchy bad. Torg see that now.
Inside, they have shown
Torgnadoes?
they've
Sorry.
shown everybody else a map. They've located the weapons cache that Curse is using to keep his forces supplied, and they are planning to attack it. One of them tells you, "Yeah, we're building this battle suit because we know it's going to be really heavily defended, and we're a little worried. Like we understand that, like Torg says, sometimes death happens. You have to be strong anyway. Keep going. But we also know the word attrition, and we're worried." But you have guns?
We do.
I went mine out very carelessly with a lot of finger twirls, and I'm like, yeah, look at this. It's a pistol. Sometimes it jams. It's really unreliable. Way.
So you're like the poster girl for bad trigger discipline?
Oh, I
That, sir, is the name of my band.
Trigger discipline?
Yes.
Lambda 100% joins D in like twirling the pistols. Like,
Oh my
oh yeah, let's go.
So
God.
Goldwater,
Doing the most.
to your horror, the impressionable room of young people start also twirling the weapons around. You're now in a small room full of like twirling handguns.
Oh God!
Yeah, I just go, oh, no, 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 no,
Right,
no,
right.
no, no.
Wait, and so, Lambda and I go into very, very acknowledging that we're endangering the lives of children or children-ish people, and so we start doing our battle in super slow motion, and we encourage everybody to get real slow-mo about it, and then we play slow motion death battle pretend, and we see who stands winning, and it's Lambda.
So a little cockroach girl walks up to you.
Oh.
Like you do.
Miss D,
Hmm?
you know we're mostly your age or older, right? I mean, I'll play slow motion kung fu with you, but I'm like 17.
I'm pretty sure I'm 20.
Yeah, well,
That's
those,
a big
those
jump.
three guys that were twirling the guns, they're all in their 20s.
Well, that's fine. Good for them. I'm happy for them.
The one that has like two faces, he's kind of cute though, huh?
I wouldn't know. I already have my eyes on my boyfriend. He's not here though.
So three of them hear
He's
that
from Canada.
and
You wouldn't know him.
come right in and start wanting to get details about the boyfriend out of you.
Oh my God, yeah, like when he gets really heated or really spicy about something, his head goes on fire, and it's not even a euphemism, it's real.
So cute. All right, so they ask Torg, will you help us with the gun cache?
Oh, Torg thought it obvious when Torg say Torg and the Torgs and Torg and the Torgnadoes that clearly this was a thumbs up from the Torg.
So will you plan and execute an attack on the weapons cache?
Yes.
Because I was going to real talk here. This is clearly a Pride-themed episode. There is no way that I can execute the raid in the weapons cache to be a celebration of Pride. So it happens off camera. There's a lot of shooting and a lot of explosions. Many of them made very colorful by Lambda. And then...
Ooh. Can I add one thing? One thing.
Oh, please.
So since we're adding in color during
please.
the explosions, what if all of their bullets are loaded with glitter? So it's like glitter and lights and blood. So at least it's just a little fabulous.
Well,
Can we use a little bit of those paint cans as like bombs?
Well, and you could have had them because they would have stuff to reload their ammo, right? And they have some shotguns. So adding some glitter in with the shot wouldn't be hard. And the throw a paint can and shoot it, that's also not hard. And then Lambda can obviously make, like, so we were going to get like a montage of just the most gloriously colored, horrible death.
Hey, Mike?
Yeah.
I got an idea, and maybe see what you'll think about this. Is what if we each one of us got 30 seconds to describe one cool thing we did or saw during the battle?
Done and done, you begin.
Okay. Mine is that while all of these wild, variously sized and colored Torgs are running past me, I'm walking incredibly calm and stoic, shooting my pistol as fireworks and paint explosions go off all around me. That's my cool moment.
And Kdin?
Lambda is almost full clip auto, just giggling and laughing as they aim not at people, not at anything else, but specifically the tossed spray paint cans as they explode into both color and shrapnel and blast people away.
And Dean?
I am very seriously considering dumping my boyfriend for Lambda. Also, I am running as fast as I possibly can with because I have pockets in the suit and stuff, as many paint cans as I can gather while I'm running. And then as I pass people, I'm smashing the paint cans together on their heads so that it cuts into their brains and then it explodes and it makes its own little fireworks. And I'm just squeaking the whole time.
So Danielle, you know I love you, right? You worry me sometimes. And Erik?
So after careful consideration, Erik has decided to paint Karen several different colors. So Karen is going to, he has come to terms with the fact that Karen is an individual and that they are symbiotic together. And it's not that she is subjugated to him, but that they are together. And if they're going to maintain this marital relationship, that he's going to have to get out of the way and learn to love her individuality, which means he doesn't decide whether or not she wants to fire. She fires because they fire together. So as a result, he has decided to paint her in bright rainbow colors, and has resumed his carnal bloodlust for slaughter, and is resolved his visit with Jesus with his idea of the independentness of his weapon, and that's what happened.
And last but not least, Torg, what sort of mayhem do you get up to? And you are muted.
So Torg has obviously been taking part, but for the most part, Torg is just making sure that they're backing up anyone that's struggling. So like kind of just playing like, okay,
You're the cavalry.
Right, exactly. But just having a lot of fun and mostly just enjoying watching everything like explode in color and glitter. But they get there once, so there's like one final person or whatever. There's like one last thing between them and getting all the guns. And so Torg takes a oil barrel that Torg had brought along with them, which is filled with paint, confetti, glitter, gunpowder, other explosives, etc., and takes it, smiling, throws it up in the air, and then punches it towards the last sand, and it explodes on the person, bursting everything everywhere to where it's just this huge, insane, like fireworks and glitter and guts and bones and guns and everything.
So 15 minutes before this all begins, Mike, I'm going to need you here in a second. There are all told about 12 of Curse's men working a secret cache, and it's effectively like almost like a quartermaster for his various forces. When they need a resupply, when they need to change what their loadouts are, they come here. And these are those that have drawn the duty of protecting this very important tactical position. Hey, Gordon.
Yeah.
You hear about the this Torg fella?
Yeah, I mean, I hear so many different stories. I don't know what's real, man. Like, what's he? 12 feet tall, weighs 600 pounds.
Yeah, and I hear sometimes they say like man, sometimes, but like is this like a they or something? Like I can't follow any of that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people could be what they want to be, but I don't know.
It kind of freaks me out, honestly. But there's a braid, right?
There's what?
I heard there's a braid. I heard we cut the braid off. I thought we got him.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, Torg's like a werewolf. I've been hearing stories for years about Torg.
We got double guard here. Like,
Yeah, I
so
mean, no one's getting through us, man. Like, not today.
And then the camera pulls back, and we would then see the montage of battle that involves explosions of color, flashes of paint that spatter bright colors on everyone, flashes of glitter, and the most disorienting thing with the position of the defenders is everyone is super upbeat and gleeful, even when arms and legs go flying, but the arms and legs have like purple on them. And Gordo and Thompson are running away. What the hell, man? What the hell was that?
I have no idea, but I believe in werewolves now.
You know the worst part? It was fucking beautiful, man.
I know. If I wasn't on the wrong side of it, I probably would have just sat there and laughed.
He stops, and he reaches in his pocket, and he pulls out a multicolored braid. You know, I bet if we went back, do you think? I mean, Curse is kind of a prick.
Fuck Curse, man. Let's go back.
Hey, guys, we're Torg too.
We are Torg. We are Torg.
About an hour and a half later, at the camp, about 2 miles from the cache. What I need to know is how Torg we'll leave this. Do you leave the group and retire to lead the Torg gets? Do you tell them good work, carry on? Do you tell them to break up and take straight jobs? That seems incredibly unlikely. But what do you leave them with? What do you do?
Torg want all the Torgs to know how much joy and pride Torg get when Torg see what you have built here. Torg love that Torg's found Torg family, just like Torg. Torg, of course, cannot stay. Torg has own family, but Torg wants the Torgs to know that Torg will be visiting every chance Torg gets. And also, Torg promises to one day explain why the citrus Caesar so important to Torg. But Torg does have one thing to ask of the Torgs.
Ask anything.
When the Torgs found this place, was there anything that seemed like it could possibly be left from Boom Boom? Left from pre-sad bomb death time? Anything with citrus Caesar paper or logo or just anything from original building, or is all just left building?
So one of them actually nods as though they know what you're talking about. They go behind the counter and they come back with a little branded cooler that's got the logo on it. And they pass the cooler over, and I'm going to end the episode there. And for now, what's inside the cooler is mysterious. I will say, though, this obviously, the party will figure out that what was happening is they've been attacking Chris's men. And
yeah.
They had losses. So Curse had been finding these braids. Assumed that Torg was directly involved, so came after Torg.
Yeah.
The upshot of this episode is going to be they're going to have to get the hell out of the Ninth Life, which means the pressure is on to go find a new home. Fortunately, we have an incredibly special guest star next week who's going to help you with that exactly. Before I hand over to Mike to tell you all about that, I do want to say on a personal note, happy Pride Day. I have so many friends that are as diverse as the fucking beautiful rainbow. I am among my bright shining friends, perhaps the pastiest and dullest. I shine in my own way, but I do have two beloved children who both fly pride flags. So Lauren and Crow, I love you very, very much. So Mike.
Well, that's a fun one to follow, but yes, we echo that sentiment here at 819 too. Happy Pride Month. And you should make every month Pride Month, because you should just be fucking proud of Pride all the time. So in addition to that, let me say that Mike was not kidding. We have a very, very special guest star for the next 2 weeks, Mr. Colton Dunn from Superstore. And other many important things will be with us for the next couple of weeks. Please tune in for that. Also, next Monday, we've got another Tales from the Wasteland. It is the second half of the, Mike, was the Goblin Saga? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
Next Monday night, which obviously close to my heart, the Goblin Saga. We want to thank you all for coming to watch and for being in chat. Breeze, thank you for being our moderator this week. Andreas Fabus, as always, for being our disembodied German. Colt Joyce for being our technical director, as always. And then we wanted to shout out our one of our moderators, Qui-Gon, who had a bit of a car accident apparently over the weekend. So we want to make sure that they are doing okay. And so please get in touch. Let us know how you are. And then our historian, Brett, who is always here and making sure that everybody's keeping their stuff straight. Thank you very much again, and we will see you in the wasteland next time.